it's really best to go private when you're doing travel. Bill and I have done this many times, and there are some real deep advantages to going private, even before the pandemic. And certainly now that the pandemic is winnowing down and people are starting to travel a little bit again, all the more reason for you to think of hiring a private guide or doing a private tour when you're in a country, so that you can avoid being in crowds and you can avoid being in situations that will increase your exposure. Whether you've been vaccinated or not, I've been vaccinated. I still don't want to be in a huge crowd and exposed. So private means that I arrange for you tours or trips that are completely private and customized just to you. And that's one of the big advantages. You can customize. So rather than being on a tour where they make stops of 14 churches and you're not necessarily a church person, but you would rather go to castles, or you would rather go to museums, or you would rather take a cooking class, or you would rather take a hike along the city walls in Europe somewhere, customized travel allows you to do that. I have contacts and tour operators in almost every country, especially in the European countries, where you can pay for having a private tour, a private guide, hotels that are 4 or 5-star hotels. Your guide or chauffeur will pick you up in a private car every single day and will also be expert and certified as a tour guide and will take you where you want to go. So if you're in Scotland and you want to go see castles and you want to go see distilleries because you love whiskey, then you can do that. If you're in Ireland and you want to go to Newgrange and then you want to zip across Ireland to Galway and you want to go out and see a lot of Irish music at night, then you'll be able to do that. The advantages are that you get to do what you want to do, and they will suggest to you things based on your interest of things that are local to you that you will never see if you're on a big tour bus with 60 other people. The second part of it that is really worth it is that you will be able to see so much more in the time that you have when you're in that destination. Bill and I have done private tours, excuse me, many times, and we'll go to 4 places for every 1 place that the tour bus can go, because the bus has to get everybody loaded, has to go, parking is more difficult, has to go offload people, has 30 minutes or 45 minutes or an hour somewhere, and then they have to wait for people to unload, and then they have to get to the next place. Where you, with a private tour guide or a private driver, are going to be able to zip in, go to the front of the line usually, see what you want to see, you can customize it, and then you can come back out and you're on to your next place. This really served us in good stead when we went to the Hermitage in St. Petersburg, Russia, for instance. We hired a private guide who knew the Hermitage cold. She had talked to us ahead of time about the things we particularly wanted to see. Instead of a forced march through the things that most tourists see, we got to go to places in the Hermitage that no one really pays much attention to, but that we really wanted to see. We also got to go to a little tiny museum that was that showed all the Fabergé eggs that are in Russia, a collection of Fabergé eggs that are in St. Petersburg. And no other tour group really was going to take the time to go there because it was a really small stop. When you're traveling, and time is money, you have a limited amount of time. You've made a big investment to take this trip of your time and your money, and you want to see what you want to see and do what you want to do. The more you travel privately, you will come to understand that it is the way to go. Yes, it costs more money than a large group, but you will have a far better experience. You will see more. You will see the culture more. You will stay in better hotels. You will have leads to where you can get better local meals. The list is just endless. Plus, if there's an issue, then they're going to be your boots on the ground in that country, and they're going to make sure that you get taken care of. And you're not going to be standing in line with 30 other people trying to get your flight changed because there was a bad storm and your flight got canceled or something like that. So I'm going to post a video a couple of times a week now where I'm showcasing some private tours. The first one, I've already made the video, and it's a private tour, a 7-day private tour of Northern Ireland. and I go all through the itinerary and show you the places that you get to stay, which include 2 nights in a castle, 2 nights in a manor house, a big estate, and then 2 nights in other beautiful, really high-end hotels. So think about it. When you are ready to travel, customize it to what you are wanting to do, what your interests are, and go private. I can help you set that up. This is Sue with TravelChangesLife.com, and if you want to get my newsletters about those kinds of opportunities, go to TravelChangesLife.com/travel news, leave your name and email, and I'll put you on my mailing list for that kind of notification. This is Sue. Bye-bye.